Hello, this is Paul Ricci, the host of Allegheny Independent Media. I'm here with my guest today, Hilary Hauck. She's one of the organizers for the upcoming Festival of Books in the Alleghenies on September 21st. And the night before, you're having an evening with what's her name, Jennifer High, or how do you say her name?
Jennifer Haig.
Hey,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, Haig, although I might pronounce it a little bit differently than some with
I
my
guess that I guess that would be like the British pronunciation.
right, I guess so.
Okay. And yes, I guess so Allegheny Independent Media is one of the sponsors for this event. We're a media sponsor and we are hoping to be able to do some live streaming on the day of the festival and maybe record the lecture the night before. So, and I see one of the fundraising efforts is for Dolly Parton. I guess for her project. What's it called again?
It's the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about it?
I certainly can, Paul. First of all, thank you so much for hosting me on this interview today, and thank you for your sponsorship of the festival. It really helps elevate the event. So,
Certainly.
so the
Okay.
Dolly Parton Imagination Library is many people might know it as an organization that gives books to children who subscribe, and you can subscribe your child the day they're born, and they will receive free books every month, sorry, until the age of 5. So it's a wonderful way to nurture an early love of reading and love of stories. Um, Something people may not be as familiar with is that the Dolly Parton Imagination Libraries are hosted by local organizations in each county. And that's where the challenge comes in because these organizations purchase the books. And I believe the cost is around $2.40 for each book. And they rely on grants and donations to keep running and to keep giving these books, which are lovely books. They're mainstream books, but they also have extra sections at the back for activities. They really are lovely. And when we found out that the Pittsburgh chapter had to close down because of a lack of funding, we knew we had to help.
Okay. Well, certainly to promote literacy in the area.
Mhm.
And so these would be so the books they have are mostly like children's and young adult novel books.
Children's actually, yes. I believe they go up to age 5.
Oh, okay. So, all
But it's a
right.
wonderful way to get hands into sorry, it's a wonderful way to get books into the hands of all children, including children whose families might not be able to afford to buy, so many books. And those kids would miss out.
Okay. So, and I guess you get a lot of Newbery Award winners and okay. All right. I'm going to share the screen and show a photo of Jennifer. Nice. Of Jennifer High or Haig, sorry.
Yes. Mhm.
Well, okay. Yes. So she's the author who will be profiling. Can you tell us about some of her writings?
Yes, yeah. We're so excited to have Jennifer with us this year. She's going to be giving a keynote presentation on our Friday fundraiser. And she's the author of 8 books, I believe, and she has won numerous awards, the Penn Hemingway Award, the Mark Twain, I won't get the title exactly right. Um, and she has her books have been nominated or they have been best books for the Washington Post, I believe, New York Times bestselling. She's really, really accomplished writer, and she also teaches creative writing at the University of Boston. But why we're so excited is that Jennifer is she grew up in Barbaro, which is in Cambria County, and she went to Bishop Carroll High School right here in Evansburg. So she's coming home.
Okay. Yes, certainly. Well, it'd be good to see her and meet her. Um, and So I guess certainly sounds like she's done very well. I mean, I guess other local authors could include Cheryl Strayed. She's from the same town,
That's correct. Yes.
who wrote Wild. That was made into a movie with Reese Witherspoon.
Great movie, great book as well. Yes.
Yes, and I guess other local authors might be like a Dean Koontz. He wrote, I guess he's written, well, I guess he's more from down around Everett, but I'm
Mhm.
sure he'd be welcome at one of our events.
Oh, we've invited him, but yeah,
Huh?
we have invited him. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, okay, and so this event will be at the Cambria County Courthouse
That's correct.
and
Yes. And it
on September 20th.
exactly, yes. And it is a ticketed event. The tickets will be on sale on August 15th. And a large portion, if not all, we're trying to work out the finer details of the prize money, thanks to our sponsors, will go directly to the Dolly Parton Imagination Libraries. And the ticket cost includes wonderful. I've heard Jennifer speak before. She's wonderful. So that's going to be an absolute highlight. We're going to have music by Serendipity. We're going to have catering by Pour on Center. And it's all included for the ticket price, and we'll have refreshments and beverages. And there's going to be a silent auction too, and we usually get some fantastic prizes to help raise those funds for the Dolly Parton Imagination Libraries.
Okay.
Yeah, we
And okay, so on the next day, I guess, do you know how many authors you have signed up so far?
we
Or
have, yeah, we have 58 authors, and we do have a waiting list as well. We
wow,
were overwhelmed this year. It was a very, very difficult choice. I'm glad I wasn't the one selecting the authors, because it really, yeah, we got a really great response from authors.
okay. If I recall, I think that is more than we had last year.
Yes, a few more. Yes, that's right.
So, so yes, so the event is growing.
It is growing, but when we decided to start this event, we really did start out with a mindset of having an event that could be a big city event, a big festival, but hosting it in a small town. Because we really appreciate our small towns in this area, and they often get overlooked. So we're really hoping to have a
Yes.
top class festival and bring people into the area.
I know when I wrote my book, I did like a little survey of the literary scene. I mean, back then I had, well, I guess that's almost 4 years ago now. I profiled about 40 different authors. I'm sure there's a lot more than that now.
I'm
So,
sure. Yeah. There's a lot of talent.
okay. And then, yes, there will also be other events for children at the, other events on the day of the festival.
That's right. Yes, we have. So the authors who are coming, some write children's books and some write books for grown-ups. And we're going to have, for the kids, we're going to have a kids activity tent where there'll be balloon making and face painting all day long. There'll be storytelling. We are having frogs and toads. We're going to have a bit of a science theme going on in the kids tent.
I remember last year, Misty Smith, she had an event. I guess the kids would go around to different authors and I guess I forget exactly what they were doing, but
Yeah, yeah, that's a book quest. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt, and you have to go and it's kind of a nice icebreaker too. The kids or some grown-ups partake too. You go around and ask authors. No, the authors ask the kids the questions, and when you get a question right, you get a bead, and then you get entered for prizes. So it's a lot of fun.
okay, yes, the event will be right, in Evansburg, right next to the old county jail.
That's right. Yes.
So yes, no tours available, but
Right. No, no, unfortunately.
but But
Mhm.
certainly it's a nice field and it's a great place. So hopefully the weather cooperates.
Yeah, so if 1 year there was a hurricane earlier in that week, September, so we always have a backup venue, and I believe that will be Bishop Carroll High
Okay,
School. So, but yeah, it's a lovely place. We're also going to have a writer's tent or a creative tent for grown-ups and teens, and there are going to be activities all day long. Toastmasters are coming to do a presentation. We're going to have matchmaking with Scribble House. Um,
okay.
we're going to have an ekphrastic poetry activity too.
Okay, yes, I remember last year when I was there, we went around and I did go around, just got like a brief little 5-minute discussion with each author, including you. So,
Yes, yeah. And then you're going to be there again, Paul, this year, interviewing people.
yes.
And yeah,
Mhm.
wonderful.
So, yeah, and I know they had like a limit, like, so you get some more variety and maybe like people who have more than one, like, so people just don't sell the same books every year.
Yes, yes. We do have some authors who come back year after year, and they have, variety of books. We also have first-time authors. So that's really exciting to have, such a range of books and also such a range of genres.
Okay, so yeah, okay, all right, I'm gonna stop the share, but
Okay.
we'll still continue the interview.
Okay, wonderful.
Um, so yeah, I'm just trying to look at what we had there last year. And so, okay, and I forget, were any musicians going to be there?
Yes, yes, we're hoping to have musicians there this year. I don't think we had any last year. Sometimes the authors say the musicians are too loud. Sometimes they say, where are the musicians? So yes, we should have
Well,
live music and food
maybe
trucks.
maybe someone more like a folksy type musician.
Yes, yes, that's right.
Okay, so the statistician in me did do some statistics. Let me see here. I thought I had, okay, I looked at, okay, so the interview, I mean, okay, oh yeah, I did count 57 authors and, okay, so, I did do a let's say like science fiction, fantasy, horror, a lot of people. I guess that was the most popular genre last year. Okay, I'm gonna do a share screen to show you what I had from last year. Okay, so yes, down here. Okay, so yes, I counted 57 authors and looked at them by all, I guess, science fiction, fantasy, horror. Certainly, there's a lot of people who dream of becoming the next J.R.R. Tolkien or
Totally.
murder, crime, mystery was the second most popular with 10 authors. Some authors can write in more than one genre, you know, 9 historical fiction, general fiction, 8 children's author, 7 memoir, biography, 5 poetry, 4 each in history and romance, and 2 in nonfiction. So I guess that's where I would be. So yes, this was some of the video I had from last year. Um, okay, so is there anything else you would like to share about the upcoming event?
Yeah, sure. I think I mentioned the food vendors. We're also going to have some sponsors and vendors, and we're very excited about them this year. Allegheny Independent Media will have
Yep.
a tent there. Yep, and also
Mhm.
Scribble House, which is a publishing company, and we are also having. I don't want to miss anybody out here.
Like
Um,
the Writers Conference of Northern Appalachia, or I remember, I think, oh, Sunbury Press, they were there last year.
They were there last year, but they aren't unable to attend this year, which is a shame. But hopefully next year we are having Tree Shadow Press, which is another publisher, and Novel Breads Company is quite interesting. They make handmade bread and artisanal bread, and they make breads inspired by books, which is really exciting.
Okay.
Um,
You mean like after certain characters or just make it shaped like a book?
no, things they draw things from stories and turn the bread into something from that story. And there's a story to go along with the bread. It's really I
Okay.
saw them in Pittsburgh. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds too good to eat.
Yeah, well, I wish I could eat it. And then we're also having the Artist Hand Gallery and Espresso Bar. They're from Indiana, and we're very excited to welcome them to the festival this year. Actually going to be hosting Jennifer Haig on Saturday, so
Oh,
a lot of people will want to come out for
she'll be there as well. Okay.
She'll be there all day Saturday with the Artist Hand Gallery, and they have amazing art by local artists, and they've got a good array of book related and literary related arts and crafts, so they'll be there with those. So that will be a lot of fun.
Okay. So certainly, and well, certainly I'll be doing the best I can to promote it on social media.
Yeah, and
Usually,
we invite everybody to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We also have a newsletter sign up on our website, which is www.festivalofbooks.org. And you can
okay,
subscribe to the newsletter to get updates on who's attending, where events are happening, what's going on. So that's a
okay.
really good way to
So
keep
yes, I will link to that, to the
perfect.
website in this, in, in the post. And, usually I usually wait till maybe about a week before I start inviting friends on Facebook.
Hmm.
Because sometimes I usually forget if I do it too far in advance.
Right. Hmm. Yeah, fantastic.
Okay,
But if they sign up to the newsletter now, then they'll get reminders from us as well. So
okay.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess you can could you tell us about some of your writing?
Sure, sure. I will be there with my books at the festival, and it's kind of interesting trajectory because when we started talking about the festival in 2016, I had not yet been published, so it's very exciting to be a published author now participating. So I write for grown-ups, I write historical fiction, and slash kind of women's fiction, and a lot of my stories uh, they go to Italy or they come from Italy because I lived in Italy as well as I grew up in the UK, as you've guessed from my accent. Well, Paul. So
Yeah.
I also have some middle grade stories, which are a lot of fun, and about three grandkids who come to grandparents for Christmas and accidentally set off the worst kind of magic. And
Oh,
they have to find the
okay.
right kind of magic to save Christmas.
You have some good Christmas pudding too, and
Oh, absolutely. Gotta have good Christmas pudding.
yes, my mother made it once. Well, I guess a lot of people from the British Isles emigrated here about 100 years ago, including my great grandfather. You know, came here. I don't know if you've heard of Tankersley, England, up in Yorkshire.
No, I know Yorkshire, but not Tankersley.
I think it's near Sheffield or I forget the name. It's okay. Okay, and you're from around London originally?
Yes, that's right. Southeast London. Yeah.
Okay. And well, sometimes I always wonder, we're glad to have you here in the Alleghenies. And didn't you say you wrote one book set here in the Alleghenies?
That's right. Yes, my first novel was is From Ashes to Song. So when I came here from Italy, I'd lived in Italy for 12 years before moving here. And, I had my idea of what America was going to be like. But landing in a small coal mining town in Western Pennsylvania, it was very different from what I imagined. But so it was, I felt a little bit out of sorts and, where am I? But the local people, they were absolutely lovely. And because I was an immigrant, I made them think of the stories of their grandparents or great grandparents and their immigration stories. And they started telling me these stories. And, it's a wonderful way to bond with the local people. And one of these stories, it just would not, I could not get it out of my head. It was an amazing story. And I was just starting to write, and I asked the family if I could write their family story, and they
Mhm.
kindly gave me permission. And
Oh,
yeah, they really helped with the research, and we even went to Italy together to do some research for it. And that story
okay.
became From Ashes to Song, which is the
So,
story of coal miner slash composer.
oh, okay.
And
Certainly,
actually, there's
it does sound like an interesting read.
oh,
So
thank you. And I'm really pleased with the Friday event being in the courthouse, because there's a scene in my book based in the set in the courthouse. So
was it a criminal trial or a?
it was, yes, 1920s prohibition. Yeah, they were making some
Okay.
money.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there were lots of speakeasies around here, and sadly, there was a lot of Ku Klux Klan around here then.
Yes,
So,
unfortunately.
so
Mhm.
yes, certainly the early 1920s, they were a pivotal. I guess I can tell you a little bit about the history here. I guess there was a big gun battle between some KKK members and some like Catholic immigrants.
Hmm.
And, there was also the Rosedale incident here where, African Americans were, was a group of African Americans who had just moved to the area were forced out of Johnstown.
Hmm.
So, plus a long coal strike was going on from 1922 to 1923. So certainly that was a hot period in the history of this area.
Right. Mhm. Yeah, the world could be a different place if things have gone differently.
Okay, well, I think those are all the questions I have for you. If I missed anything, please let me know. Okay, I think I'm going to stop recording now.
Okay, well, thank you so much.